You're listening to Popcorn and Politics. What's the real deal? Hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney and Derek J. Wilson. Asking the hard-hitting questions you want answers to. From political leaders and political hopefuls from around the world.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney here. Derek will be joining me shortly. I think he's caught up somewhere, but I'm glad to be here with you today. Welcome to another edition of Popcorn and Politics, where we talk all about politics. So there's some news coming down the pipe. You gotta look at Derek. Derek got on his church time. He's been in church, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, Derek.
Good afternoon. My apologies.
Yeah, because he be getting on me, y'all. He be getting on me because I come in like 5 minutes before the hour. I was like, why you don't never get there early so we can talk? So I'm sitting there like, wait a minute now. It's like 2 minutes. So where you at? Because I'm here. I've been here since like 10 minutes before. I'm like, oh, early. Because I get reprimanded, y'all, so much. Y'all don't even know. Behind the scenes, I get beat up. The young buck beat me down. But that's okay because I'm early today.
That's all right. Yeah. How you doing? I thought at least I had time. I figured the introduction was still going.
Nah, I might get here late according to you, but I always try to be on time for the people.
I see. So what we got going on today?
Well, Keisha Lance Bottoms endorsed not Felicia Moore, Andre Dickens, and it's so funny because somebody left us a comment bright and early, 7:48 this morning. Check it out.
Yeah, I see. So now I'm not voting for him.
7:48. I said somebody was up early. It's so funny because I look at you've been around politics way longer than I have. Well, let me say this: you've been involved because I've been around a little bit longer than you, just a little bit. But you've been involved in politics just a little bit longer than I have. And what I've learned is that the first 100 days is always something. That a lot of candidates once they actually win the seat, they always say we're gonna look at the first 100 days. So, Felicia Moore, who was endorsed by the Atlanta Fire Department Firemen's Union, she got her endorsement, so she announced it yesterday. Andre got the endorsement from Keisha, and I think one of the big things that they kind of have the same mission, except for when it comes to law enforcement, they differ there. So that's a little bit different. I want to know what your opinion was now. Andre is saying, he feel like the chief that's there right now, we should keep him there, for at least the first 100 days to see what happens. Felicia is saying, let's get him out. Let's get him out. As soon as I win, he's out. And so, I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts about that?
So being that Felicia is the former city council president, she was in position to have influence on these decisions. And so I always find it ironic when you are in a position of power and influence, but you don't use it. But then when now you're trying to replace your boss, all of a sudden everything your boss did was wrong. So I have a problem. I personally think that there is a personal issue between them two, and because Felicia Moore has nothing really positive to say about Keisha Lance Bottoms, and Mayor Bottoms haven't said anything about Felicia other than endorse her opponent. So I think someone outside looking in, I think is more to that. I think them two have a personal issue with each other. And so
you think that personal issue is kind of flowing over into like the people that are there right now? Because like I've been around a little bit now to understand that when a new administration come in, they want to bring their own people because they feel like I don't know if I can trust this group right here, or that kind of thing. So do you feel like the reason that she wants to get rid of Brian is because it's some beef between her and Keisha? Or you just think that maybe he's just not doing what she thinks is a good job at this point?
I think he's only been there a year? I don't even think he's been there a full 2 years yet. Yeah, he only been there for a year. After the Rashad Brooks situation, wasn't that was last year?
That was last year.
So yeah, and she was city council president. It's not like, someone who wasn't already part of the government is running for these positions. She was the next person after the mayor as far as the hierarchy in that city government. So she had input. Now, maybe which I don't know because I didn't follow, but maybe she didn't support him or vote for him or from the beginning. But the fact that he's only been there for a year, um, I'm not exactly understanding what they want him to do in a year time frame. Yes, crime has continued to go, is out of line, but I don't personally think that that's the mayor or whoever's in power. I don't think that's their uh, crime is up because of them. Is crime is up because of circumstances and situations. Um, you know, um, Granted, there's more money out there than ever, so I'm not understanding it. But you know, we have to find out the reason for the why the crime rate went up. What's going on? What economic decisions that was made that impacted the area that caused the crime rate to go up?
And that's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to find out too, because I think about what you just said. It's so much money floating around right now. I feel like there's more money floating around now than there has ever been in history. And so why crime? I feel, and the other thing too, Derek, and this could be it. Everybody feels like they can do everything right now. I think
Yeah.
that the previous administration proved to anybody I can do what I want to do. And I feel like that's why we have so much going on, because when you look at where we were 5 years ago, right? It wasn't like that. But there was a level of respect, there was a level of responsibility, there was some standards there. Right now, after the last administration, like you could do it, I could do it too. I can do what I want to do.
I can
And
say what I want to say. Yeah, no consequences unless you're, black.
Right, right, exactly. And so I feel like that has a lot to do with it. And so in our own communities where we have leadership coming in, people feel like, you know what, I don't like that. So I don't want I'm gonna say what I want to say, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Now, the first 100 days is always what political candidates say. We're gonna see what happens in the first 100 days. And that's what Andre is saying. So you know what? I'm not saying I'm gonna fire him. Let's see what happens in the first 100 days. But even in the first 100 days, he's been there a year. So I guess that's the opportunity for him to put together a plan and say, you know what, let's see how this plan works out, because that still may not be enough time to accomplish what maybe Miss Moore would like to see have accomplished. So that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Well, and so again, I haven't really followed the Atlanta races other than, and so I only know about what I hear on the news and hear on the radio. So, um, based on what I'm hearing, Felicia Moore claims that she support the police and training for the police, but yet she voted against funding for additional training and other things for the police. So now, mind you, that was based on an ad that I heard from uh, former Mayor Reed. So don't know how true that is, but if that is the case. But I did hear that again. She was in position. She was in a position where she could have made a difference in these arenas. And it's almost like if you in this position to make these decisions to make this difference, but you didn't do it. Why will we believe that you will do it now that you're mayor? One step over. You went from vice president to president, like, and all of a sudden, you know, you're supposed to be, we're supposed to believe that, you can make these, you'll make these decisions when you voted against these things, when you had the opportunity to vote for or support. And so, like that, I think it's more of a personal thing between the two ladies that was running the city, uh, because it just seems that way. If you just sit back and look at the body language, look at the lack of comments from Ms. Bottoms, look at the comments from Felicia Moore, that's something personal there.
I would like to say I would like to know what that is. I would. I ain't gonna even lie. I would love to know what that is. But that's neither here nor there. It is not that important for real, not for real. I want to talk about Lucy Macbeth and where she stands right now. I know, they have redrawn the line, and her seat, her space may be in a little bit of jeopardy, because of these new lines that have been drawn. And so I read one article said they finally figured out a way to shut her down or something crazy like that. I'm like, that's so crazy.
Well, that was purposeful because you know, when she won, it was she was on a mission. Gun control. Um, NRA was against her. Um, a lot of Republicans that feel like Democrats don't support the Second Amendment was against her. But remember, she turned tragedy into triumph, so to speak. Her son was killed for being in a car that the guy felt like the music was too loud. You know, uh, and so he shot into the car and he killed her son, who wasn't even the driver. He was in the backseat passenger, if I'm not mistaken. So, um, so obviously she ran. I don't even want to say with a chip on her shoulder, but she ran with a mission. And so the Republican Party, has been trying to find a way to remove her because she won, and she's been a thorn in their side ever since. And so whether she runs for reelection or not, uh, I think Lucy Macbeth will forever be part of the national and Georgia politics. It also talked that she could even run for congressional district 7. Um, and so I read that article that was saying that although District 7 is mostly Gwinnett, you know, her name is a household name compared to, Carolyn Bordeaux, who is a first term congresswoman, whereas Lucy Macbeth has been there for, I want to say, at least 2 terms now.
Hmm.
And on top of that, she's a household name. The situation with her son, you know, so I don't think, and with congressional districts, as I learned, that you don't necessarily have to live in those districts to run for those districts. So, whether she decides to run for 6 again or run for another seat, or she will still be a staple, whether she's in Congress or if she take a job somewhere. She will still be a loud voice to deal with. You can't silence me just because I'm not elected.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of gun violence, the verdict of Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse, shook everybody. And I think for me, when I look at the case, right, he went there with a what was it, AK-47, an AR or something or another. He went there with that gun in his hand. If he had just stayed home, he two people probably would not have lost their lives, and another injured if he had just stayed home. But you
Yeah,
go out,
he crossed state lines and everything.
you did all of that, and then he gets the verdict of not guilty. And I'm like, okay, so there's no reprimanding him for anything he did. Like he was innocent in the whole thing, and he was not innocent. You go out there with this automatic weapon. Nobody knows what you come to do, so people
Okay.
step to you and you kill them. And so, his parents, everybody was saying, "Oh, he was provoked," but you went out there with the gun. Stay home. I, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm just
and he lied and said that he was a medic.
right. So you went
So,
out there, but he got off scot free. And so,
well, I knew. Well, I had a feeling something was going to happen when they basically dismissed the gun charge. If anything, he would have been guilty of being a minor with a gun. You know, they're saying, oh well, there's a hunting loophole, but he wasn't hunting,
well,
and
he was probably, he probably was,
well,
honey.
he crossed state lines. Uh, Now the sad part about it, the person that bought him the gun, probably gonna get more time than he will.
Is that person on trial?
Well, I haven't. I don't think they're on trial, but I heard that the person that purchased the gun for him could possibly face some time. I heard that on one of the news analysts was saying, and so that's sad.
It
Although
is sad, but
it's
it's good
still
for him because
illegal, but
it's
it's still sad.
I don't mean to cut you. It is sad, but it's good for him because you had no business buying him a gun in the first place. So you so
Right,
stupid for buying
right.
him
I
a
mean,
gun
what
that
I'm saying is sad that so I buy you the gun, I get 10 years in prison. You go out and shoot somebody, you get off.
right. It's
You
very
know,
sad.
I'm. It's basically like I'm getting penalized for you shooting because if you would have never shot anybody, I wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a chain reaction. Not saying that the person that purchased the gun shouldn't be held accountable, but you know I find it interesting that you let the person that did the shooting off, but then you turn around and prosecute the one that purchased the gun. Like and but then y'all also, I mean, they threw out the case of the illegal, that having a gun in the first place, being underage. So if I was that guy's attorney, it would be kind of hard for you to prosecute that because if you saying that I purchased an illegal gun, well, why did you dismiss the case for the guy that had the gun? Because if I purchase you an illegal gun, that means you are in possession of an illegal weapon. So
Right.
I mean, I'm guilty of purchasing it, but you're also guilty of having it in your possession. And they dismissed that case for you. They saying that case, they said that wasn't relevant. And so I knew that they was taking it off. I knew when they took that off that it was setting up for them to get him a not guilty. Because if that was one of the charges, there's no way he could have got not guilty across the board because he was clear as day guilty of being a minor with a weapon.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy is you're right. The person that bought the gun, if you think about, I don't know if you ever read the book, The Butterfly Effect, but the Butterfly Effect,
I
it
saw that.
you saw it. Well, I didn't see the movie. I think I saw Ashton like for a second. I was like, it's not the same as the book because I think the movie looked a little spooky, but the book was really a good book. Um, the butterfly effect, it pretty much says what you did and all the consequences that happens after that thing. So if that person had not bought him that gun, he would not have been out there probably with that gun. And then it's just crazy. But you know
Yeah,
what? I don't feel bad for the guy that bought the gun because you shouldn't have bought the gun. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, if he couldn't get the gun, he had two parents that stood up in court was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They could have bought him a gun if he really needed a gun. So you gonna go and buy him a gun? So do the time. Do the time for him for being an idiot. What that should say to other idiots is that I'm not about to put my life on the line because you want to be stupid. Like hence, like the people on January 6th, they're all going to jail, and the other one's playing golf. Stupid. I'm
yeah,
just saying stupid. He playing golf around the world and you about to sit up in jail and do time or you don't lost your job, just be stupid. Just keep being
yeah,
stupid. At some point, I hope that you understand that what you do based on what somebody is saying has circumstances that will affect your life, right? Bigger than
yeah.
the nonsense that you think you're fighting for. And it's just, I what you know. I often wonder, what are you thinking when you make these decisions? You know what I'm saying? I just be thinking about that. Like, what exactly were you thinking?
I personally think, as far as him, he claimed he was scared. I think fear was in there a little bit, but he went out there with the whole intentions of using that gun,
Yeah.
and so um, and for the record, I want to say, if not both of the victims, I know one of the victims are white.
Two of them.
So, huh? So both of them were white, right?
I think all three of them. I think all three of them were not black.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't want people to think, oh, this is a racial thing. Nah, we can make it a racial thing because if he was a black boy, he wouldn't even never made it past the barricade with the gun,
no.
to even shoot somebody,
Right.
And then if he did shoot somebody, not only did he shoot people, uh, I mean, but then he walked back by, like he left, he
I
went
saw the
home, he
video.
went back home, So, no, like it's another day at the gym,
It
You
may
know,
be
for
for
somebody
them.
that's supposed to be so fearful, and you fearful, and even if there was self defense, you know, that's like they tell you. Let's say you know you and a friend or whatever getting into an altercation, and then you feel like your life in danger, and so you end up shooting them. But then you shoot them and you leave. Like,
Right,
you know, no 911, no render aid, no nothing. You leave and go back home.
right.
And but yet that's self defense. I think the self defense goes out the door when you left. He know he shot them people.
Yeah. Shot three.
But
He ain't shoot one. He shot three. He
yeah,
killed two. He shot three people.
but that never came up in the case in the trial, that the fact that he shot him and left.
Yeah.
And then then he skedaddled on by the police, waved and hey, you know, waved at him and went on back to his house like nothing happened.
Well, that just go to show you there was no remorse. And that makes me think about what kind of individual he really is at the core of who he really is, you know, because if you can just kill a person, take their lives and have no remorse, what does that say about you? I often wonder, how do these people sleep at night? Like I don't I could run over a dog and be just a mess. And I've done it by mistake and just a hot mess there. You know, got out the car, tried to pull the dog on the side of the road. It was raining. I just felt so bad. So I
Yeah,
can't even imagine what it's like to take a human life and then just walk away.
yeah. Be like, ah, well, I gotta go to school tomorrow.
Right. And then you go. Like, anyway,
Yeah.
we could stay on this forever. And I know we supposed to be talking local politics, but this right here for me, it could, you know, bear some weight on our local crimes because of it.
Well,
If
well, to make it semi-local, you know, we still got the Ahmaud Arbery case going
yeah,
on, and so, you know, that's gonna be interesting. If they get off for that, that's gonna you know send shockwaves across the world. That you know, as a you know a minority, first of all, you know, as well as you know, we were both in the process of looking for properties, looking for homes, or you know whatever. So I know my wife and I on several occasions have gone to search properties online, or went to properties that were being built, and you know it's just sad for you to go out there and now realize that if you go visit a construction site, you could be accused of being a robber and shot and killed. You know, because again, I went to a whole bunch of new construction, new homes, walked around. You know, because for me, I feel like, you know, like going to the car dealership. You don't want to be haggled. You don't want to be harassed. So I like to go to look at these new constructions when I don't have to worry about the agent all in my face, asking me all these questions. When you ready to move? We like to go out, look around. Oh wow, that's nice. Look at the serene, the serene scenery and all that. But now you know, this makes you think twice, because I've never known. I mean, I've seen, if you look up and down the timeline of the comments, people say, I've always, you know, people always say they comment. My husband and I always go look at new construction. We always do that. You know, you walk, I mean, it's not, first of all, it's nothing there to steal. I mean, lumber, you know what I'm saying? But he has shorts on and a t shirt.
right,
And so what is he stealing?
right,
From a construction site with
right,
shorts on and a t shirt. He can't even walk out with a drill because it's going to pull the shorts down. He had basketball shorts on.
right, exactly.
So that whole, oh, you know, he was trespassing, trespass. I mean, okay, let's say he was trespassing. You know, you know that's not your property.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
I can't be sitting out my window and see somebody that I feel like is trespassing on my neighbor's property and shoot them because
Right.
they trespassing on my neighbor's property. You know, but you know, we shall see, because you know, as we all know, the justice system uh, doesn't really work for us.
It does, and it's so sad. You would think that after so many years and so many people fighting, that that would have changed, but it has not changed very much. And we are still. I mean, we're constantly in a fight for our rights, and it's a sad
Yeah,
case. It's just sad, And I don't know. We got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. Um, and that's what we do. That's what we do.
yeah. Well, Thanksgiving is coming up, so happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Uh, I wish everyone the best, as well as our listeners. Happy thanks and our viewers. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Uh, if you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. Get the booster. Um, Social distance if you can. But if Dr. Fauci said if the family is vaccinated, the family can get together. So
I've been boosted. So I've been boosted. My husband and I both have been boosted. So, we're gonna do some. We're gonna go visit some family members for the holidays. It's gonna be a little bit. This holiday is gonna be different because this is one of my mom's favorite holidays, and right now she would have been planning a menu that to feed the whole neighborhood because that's what she did every Thanksgiving. And I'm always the one fussing like, we don't need that much food. We don't have any food this year.
is
My mom is not
this
here with
is
us.
this
So
your
we
first
haven't.
Thanksgiving?
This is our first Thanksgiving without her. Our last Thanksgiving was last year. Those are the last two holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving. We all got sick right after Christmas. We were good for Thanksgiving, but right
Okay.
after Christmas, we all got sick, and then she passed away on January 5th. So we're coming
Okay.
up to her 1 year anniversary. But I gotta tell you that she loved holidays. She loved all the holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, the 4th of July. Those. Now let me tell you what holiday she wasn't really crazy about. She wasn't
Right.
crazy about Memorial Day, and that always fell around her birthday all the time. So she never
The
did. And I think the reason was because the basketball playoffs was always around that time. So she didn't care about that because she didn't want anybody. She loves sports like basketball and football and die hard. I had to get the football package, and I fuss about this every year because the football package is $60 extra on your cable bill. And because my
no.
mom, yes, my mom loves sports, I had to get the package every year. So for like 6 months, I'm always fussing like, oh my God, the bill is too high. She didn't care what I said, just get me a package. She loves sports. So Memorial Day, she could care less about Memorial Day. Her birthday is the 27th of May, so it always fell right in with Memorial Day. But because the playoffs were going on, she don't care. She don't want to talk. She don't want to just leave me alone to watch the playoffs. So that was the one, she could do without that one. Easter, yeah. So this is gonna be a little different, but we're gonna go visit my aunt, and I'm excited about that because I haven't eaten carrot cake in probably a year. I only eat hers, and so I'm excited to go get me. And I said to her, "Are you making a carrot cake?" And so she knows she don't want to say yes. Like, well, I got 14 cakes, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't care about the people. Are you making a carrot cake for the family?
You
That's all I
make it
care
carrot
about."
cake. I
Yeah,
don't really like that. Well, yeah,
I,
it's
I have
okay.
it. I only eat it if she makes it because everybody can't make them. Like some people put raisins in it. I'm like, oh, like I don't like
I
that.
don't. I don't even eat sweets anymore. So
I eat them, but I eat them sparingly. But that cake, I probably won't eat anything else but cake and ham. I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. That's what I eat it together. I know it sounds crazy, but that's my like everybody's eating like stuffing and collard greens and corn. I ain't gonna eat none of that. I'm probably eat some cake and some ham. That's
I'm
all I'm
looking
gonna
good. Well, we just picked up our ham today, so we're getting ready. It's getting ready. I
do. When
got the
when's
turkey.
mom coming?
There, everyone will be here Tuesday. Yeah, I'm talking about 15, 20 folks.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Y'all gonna get it in. All right, I understand.
Yeah.
Listen, I get it.
Well, my mom has 8 sisters, and then they have kids,
All
and
right,
then
and they
they
all
have
come to
kids.
your house.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna stop by on the way back. On the way back, I'm gonna stop by like, hey y'all. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
stop
so
by.
they're leaving Friday. So unless we gonna be by here Wednesday
Nope.
or Tuesday. Yeah, they leaving Friday. So my mom will be here till next Tuesday. She's staying for a whole week, Tuesday and Tuesday. But my aunts and them, a lot of them had to go back to work. So
Yeah.
my cousins, their kids got to go back to school, and so forgive me. I just had company with 4 legs.
Oh, that's Zach, y'all. That's Zach. Now I'll be back Friday afternoon so I can go to the football game. Y'all know my nephew plays for Grayson High School. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to Grayson. They won again. They're on a roll right
No,
now. So they got they during the playoffs right now. So they won against who did they play last? They played Denmark. That was a good game too. My nephew was sad though. He gave up 2 touchdowns, and like his siblings, he is a perfectionist who always wants to win. So he was upset because he gave up 2 touchdowns, but they still won. So my husband said, "Ooh, what would have happened if they had not won?" I said, "Oh my God, I don't know." But
Oh, yeah, he'd be hurt.
yeah. So anyway, so listen, guys, we want to thank you for joining us again for another episode of Popcorn and Politics. We will be back next Sunday, God willing, to bring you more of what's going on in the world of politics. Derek, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and I will talk to you again real soon. So next
All
time,
right, man.
make it a great day. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You've been listening to Popcorn in Politics. What's the Real Deal? Hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney and Derek J. Wilson. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your family and friends. To support the show, visit us on the web at www.popcorninpolitics.com. Connect with us on Facebook at Progressive Popcorn and on Instagram at Popcorn Politics Podcast.